Humans eat almost everything. We eat cows, pigs, chickens, fish, goats, sheep, deer, crabs, snails, and in some cultures, insects. If it walks, swims, flies, crawls, or grows in the ground, humans have probably found a way to turn it into food. But there is one animal almost every society draws a hard line around: us, humans. So why don't humans eat humans? At first, the answer feels obvious. Because it is wrong. Because it is disgusting. Because it is horrifying. And yes, that is true for most people. But the deeper question is, why does it feel that way so strongly? Why is cannibalism one of the most powerful taboos in human society? Why did cultures across the world, even very different cultures, decide that human bodies are not ordinary meat? The answer is not one thing. It is biology, it is disease, it is psychology, it is morality, it is law, it is religion, and most of all, it is society protecting itself. Let's start with biology. From a purely physical standpoint, human bodies are made of protein, fat, organs, and bone, like other animals. But that does not mean humans are a good food source. In fact, eating members of your own species is risky. One major reason is disease. When you eat an animal closely related to you, you increase the chance of exposing yourself to pathogens that are already adapted to your species. A disease that can infect another human may also infect you. That makes cannibalism more dangerous than eating many unrelated animals. There is also a special danger linked to prion diseases. Prions are misfolded proteins that can damage the brain. They are not like normal bacteria or viruses. They are extremely difficult to destroy, and they can be deadly. In human history, one of the most famous examples is Kuru, a disease associated with ritual cannibalism in parts of Papua New Guinea. It spread through practices involving the consumption of human remains, especially nervous tissue. This is one reason human cannibalism carries a unique biological warning. The closer the meat is to you, the more dangerous it can be. And no meat is closer to humans than human meat. But disease is only part of the answer. There is also the problem of survival math. Humans are not efficient food animals. We grow slowly. We take years to mature. We usually have one child at a time. We require enormous care before adulthood. Compared with chickens, pigs, goats, or cattle, humans are a terrible livestock species. No society could build a stable food system around eating its own members. It would destroy itself. A community survives by protecting people, not turning them into food. Every person is more valuable alive. They can gather food, raise children, build shelter, share knowledge, defend the group, make tools, tell stories, care for the sick, remember the past, plan for the future. A human being is not just meat. A human being is labor, memory, relationship, intelligence, identity, and community. If a group starts treating its own people as food, trust collapses. And once trust collapses, society collapses. This may be the most important reason of all. Human communities depend on a basic agreement. You are not food to me. I am not food to you. That sounds simple, but it is huge. It allows people to sleep near each other, raise children together, share homes, care for the weak, bury the dead, live in groups. Without that trust, every relationship becomes dangerous. A society cannot function if people fear becoming dinner. So the taboo against eating humans is not just about disgust. It is a social safety system. It protects the group from turning inward on itself. That is why cannibalism is treated so severely in most cultures. It crosses the line between person and object, between family and food, between community and threat. Humans do not only see bodies, we see people. A dead human body still carries meaning. It belongs to someone's child, someone's parent, someone's friend, someone's ancestor. Even after death, humans often treat the body with respect because it represents the person who lived. That is why funerals exist. Burials, cremations, rituals, prayers, memorials, graves. These practices tell the community this person mattered. Cannibalism does the opposite. It turns the body into a resource. For most societies, that feels like an extreme violation. Not because humans are physically impossible to eat, but because humans are socially impossible to reduce to food. This is where psychology comes in. Humans have a strong disgust response. Disgust helps protect us from disease, decay, contamination, and dangerous behavior. Rotten food disgusts us. Bodily fluids disgust us. Dead bodies often disturb us. These reactions are not random. They help keep us away from things that could make us sick. Cannibalism triggers many of those alarms at once. Death, blood, disease, violation, kinship, moral danger. The brain does not calmly analyze it like a nutrition label. It reacts strongly. That reaction becomes reinforced by culture. Parents teach children what is food and what is not. Religions teach what is sacred and forbidden. Laws teach what society will punish. Stories teach what is monstrous. Over time, cannibalism becomes not just unusual, but almost unthinkable. It becomes one of the boundaries that defines what it means to be human. Of course, history is complicated. Cannibalism has existed. In some cases, it happened during extreme famine or survival situations, when people were trapped with no food. In other cases, it appeared in ritual contexts, warfare, punishment, or symbolic practices. So it is not accurate to say humans never ate humans. Some did, but the pattern matters. Cannibalism usually appears at the edges of human experience. Extreme hunger, war, collapse, ritual exception, terror, not ordinary daily life, not a normal food system, not something most societies built around. And when societies described cannibalism, they often used it as a symbol of the ultimate outsider. Calling another group cannibals was sometimes a way to mark them as barbaric, dangerous, or inhuman. That tells us something important. Cannibalism became more than an act. It became a moral boundary. To eat humans was to step outside the rules of humanity itself. Religion made that boundary even stronger. Many religious traditions teach that the human body has special meaning. It may be seen as created by God, connected to the soul, deserving burial, or requiring ritual respect after death. Even in non-religious societies, similar respect often exists. The dead are not treated like waste. They are treated as people who have crossed into memory. That respect helps the living too. When we care for the dead, we reassure the living. We are saying, you will not be discarded. You will not be consumed. You belong to us, even after death. That is powerful, and it is one reason the taboo is so deep. There is also a legal reason. In the modern world, killing someone is murder. Abusing a corpse is a crime in many places. Selling human flesh as food is illegal and violates public health and human dignity laws. Modern societies are built around protecting the human body and human rights. So even if someone tried to separate cannibalism from killing, the law still treats the human body as something that cannot be used like ordinary meat. The reason is not just safety, it is dignity. A person does not become a product. That idea sits at the center of modern ethics. Now compare humans with the animals we do eat. Cows, chickens, pigs, goats, and sheep became part of food systems because humans could raise them, control them, breed them, and culturally accept them as a livestock. That does not mean every person agrees with eating animals. Many people avoid meat for ethical, religious, environmental, or personal reasons. But historically, those animals were placed in a category called food. Humans were placed in a category called people. That category difference matters more than biology, because food is not only about what can be digested, food is about meaning. A cow is sacred in some cultures and food in others. A dog is family in some places and viewed differently in others. A horse is a companion in one culture and meat in another. But humans are almost universally placed in the protected category. Not always perfectly, not always peacefully, but as a basic rule, human societies need humans to remain non-food. That is what allows civilization to exist. So why don't humans eat humans? Because it is biologically risky. Because it can spread disease. Because humans grow too slowly to make sense as food. Because eating people destroys trust. Because the human body carries identity and memory. Because grief demands respect. Because culture, religion, and law built walls around the dead. Because a society that eats its own members cannot remain a society for long. The taboo is not just emotional, it is functional. It protects health. It protects families. It protects the dead. It protects the living. It protects the idea that a person is not a resource. And that may be the deepest answer. Humans do not avoid human meat because we never notice the body contains protein. We avoid it because we notice the person inside the body. We decided across time and culture that some lines must not be crossed if people are going to live together. The human body was never just meat. It was someone. And that is why humans were never meant to be on the menu.